Thanks for joining us on Talking with Colerain. My name is Helen Tracy Norn. I'm the communication specialist for the township here. And right now we are standing in a Pollinator garden on Amarillo Court, that's off of Niagara, in our Northbrook neighborhood. This is a community-initiated project, meaning it came from you, the citizens. And it's something that we've been working on for a few years. Today we have with us Lori McMullen, Patty Moravec, and Laura Dakin. These are three of the women who are just really important, really integral in making this pollinator garden come to fruition and just bloom and come alive.
We first got the idea for the pollinator garden from working with UFF and recreating and regenerating the Northbrook area community with a greater Northbrook.
So the reason we picked a pollinator garden was for many reasons. First, we had a lot of options on the table, such as community boxes to have the community have access to gardens, vegetable gardens, and so forth. But pollinator insects are so important to our planet, and there's such a demand to feed bees and butterflies and birds that is the direction we took. And as you see behind us, it's beautiful. So one of the reasons why we chose it as well is the color that these plants bring to our community.
So how did you decide what plants to incorporate in the pollinator garden?
Okay, so the bushes that are planted behind us are what I consider three-season plants. They have spring flowers for the pollinators. They have the leaves themselves are host plants for butterflies, that for the spice bush and for the elderberry. And then both of them also have berries in the fall, which the birds are going to enjoy. The flowers that we planted in the front row here are mainly natives. We've added some annuals for some pop of color here during the summer because they bloom all summer long. But the natives are going to be here forever, and they're going to grow deeper. They're going to feed the pollinators, all the bees, the butterflies, bugs, everything is going to benefit. We have host plants, we have pollinator for nectar, and it's just going to be an amazing area. Like Lori said, without the pollinators, we don't have vegetable gardens. We don't have food on our table. Pollinators are extremely important to have.
We're hearing some great feedback too from all the neighbors here locally. We have a neighbor, Marie, that we've worked with for many years on the street of Amarillo, that is absolutely elated at the beauty of her street now. And the mailman that comes around, he just thinks he's watched it mature from the very beginning to now, and just absolutely loves what has happened here on the street, and is considering purchasing property and the values of the homes. It's definitely going to increase rather than having 5 empty, vacant properties that has to be tended to. Now it's beauty.
So what I love about this garden is the collaboration between so many different organizations, individuals, and so forth. I love gathering native seeds, so I gathered seeds from my garden in my yard, and the ladies from a greater Northbrook came over in February and we winter sowed. So a lot of these plants here were actually winter sown from seeds, so we have seen them come from the beginning to the end. And I work seasonally at White Oak, and so they donated a lot of annuals, so that's our pop of color that we have here. The Chamber of Commerce was involved in letting people know about the garden. And I'll let Lori talk about.
And also, Colerain Township was instrumental. Many of the departments stepped in, such as public services. They mow the grass for us, but back in September, they drilled all of the holes for all of the bushes and shrubs that you see behind us. So it saved on planting day. Colerain Police were here that day helping, and also a shout out to Officer Henry Boyd for his work. Colerain Fire Department, they are here weekly, if not 2 and 3 times a week, watering. And also the Colerain administration, who helped us with getting some funding to purchase the plants, and their continued efforts with some of the maintenance that we do.
I've got Battalion Chief Tim Beach here with us from the Colerain Department of Fire and EMS. Talk a little bit about the fire department's involvement and why this is so important to make this a community effort.
Thank you. So we always enjoy coming out and supporting the community. Greater Northbrook has done a lot of work, put a lot of time and effort into this project. These all used to be flooded lots a long time ago, and they've done a great deal of work to make it what it is now with the community rebeautification project. So we come down just to support them and help out the cause down here. We bring an engine down a couple times a week and water all these plants that everybody's put in down here.
Some of the things we'd like to see in the future are the community becoming more involved with the pollinator gardens in their own properties, building little boxes. We'd like to become a community that hosts pollinators and butterflies. That is one of the goals that we set out when we worked with Urban Fast Forward, and we'd love to see that come to fruition in the future.
So if anybody would like to learn more about creating their own pollinator garden, we would be happy to help you learn how to collect seeds, how to grow them. It's very simple. It's an easy process. Anybody can do it. It brings you into touching the dirt and getting dirty in the wintertime. And there's nothing better than getting your hands in the dirt in February or January, planting something, and then sitting and letting nature sprout it and watching it grow.
Let's take a look at some of the plants that are here in the pollinator garden.
This is a native elderberry. As you can see, it's beginning to bloom. This just got planted last fall. It's already blooming. This bush will get fairly large, but the pollinators are going to love this flower. The plant itself is a host plant for the Cecropia moth, which is a gorgeous, very large moth. So if you have an elderberry growing in your yard and the leaves are being eaten, it's very likely, if you turn over the leaf, you may see a moth caterpillar on the back of that. This is an evening primrose. It's a great native plant. This was grown from seed this spring, and it has gotten this large already. It will get much taller as the years go by. It will get larger, but as you can see, it still has some blooms this morning. These may close up during the day, but open up in the evening, therefore the evening primrose name, and bloom later. So this is a plant that when some plants are closing up during the day, this one's going to be open in the evening for all those pollinators to snack on.
Colerain Township is just so appreciative of this partnership. I mean, coming together, we love to hear all the resident feedback. You guys had a vision for what this could be, and we really appreciate you bringing that vision to us so that we could really make it into something special. And you guys have put in the hard work on this. We know that. And it clearly has paid off. You can just see by how gorgeous this neighborhood is now and how involved the Northbrook community is. Not just for the three of you ladies standing here, but all of the members of Greater Northbrook. So we really appreciate all the partnership and all the hard work.
So this is just one of the many projects that a Greater Northbrook has completed or working on in our neighborhood. A Greater Northbrook is a community-led resident program where we work with government officials and with ourselves, which is challenging sometimes, to get a positive change in our neighborhood. So of course we have the pollinator garden, and if you drive past the Northbrook Shopping Center, you see our pollinator mural that was by muralist Josh Stout, the Keep It Pollinated. We've also been instrumental for planting almost 400 trees within the Northbrook neighborhood. We host community events such as pocket picnics and community meetings as well. And if you'd like to learn more about us, you can reach us at agreaternorthbrook513@gmail.com or find us on Facebook at A Greater Northbrook or A Greater Northbrook Community Group.
Thank you again, ladies, for coming out and letting us know more about the Pollinator Garden. And for you at home, if you want to learn more about anything that's happening in Colerain Township, you can always visit us online at colerain.org. Thanks, Colerain.